So I made a video talking about my top 5 favorite bikes, and a lot of people still had questions. You know, the cheapest bike on that list was still $440, and although that is a pretty good deal, some people might be like, hey, I found a bike for $120 on this website called thehouse.com. I'm just gonna go ahead and get that. Well, do I have some advice for you? Make me a deal. If you get any value out of today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. Also comment down below any other BMX related videos you would like me to make. Quick announcement, as I don't really vlog anymore, I don't really promote my merch, so all merch, site-wide, everything is going to be marked way down just so I can knock out the inventory and figure out what to do with the clothing brand later. But also, if you're interested in more of a BMX related product, I do have a Fast Pass BMX class. It basically cuts the learning curve, teaches you guys how to get really good, really fast, tells you what the best shoes to buy, the best bang for your buck, my favorite bikes, everything like that. It's just a Fast Pass BMX class. If you want to get really good, really fast, and very knowledgeable within the world of BMX, you know, not just tricks, but everything that goes into it, including safety gear, the financials behind BMX, everything. Click the link in my description, sign up for my class today, and I'd love to see you there. Anyway, so you might see a bike like one of the ones on this list that we're gonna go over today for 120, 200, maybe even 300 bucks. But let me just start off by saying, if you can, you know, do chores, mow lawns, do whatever you need to do. If you need to earn some extra money, you can click the link in my description. I have a whole channel dedicated to making money. That's all that channel is. It's a finance channel. So not having money is not really an excuse. You can always have money. So what I recommend is maybe you mow lawns, you do chores, whatever you gotta do, because if you're gonna spend $130 on a bike, it's gonna break in a couple months, then you're gonna have to spend $130 on a new bike, and then that's gonna break. And over the course of a year, you're going to have spent a lot more money on bikes and bike parts versus if you would have just spent $400. You know, if you gotta wait a couple extra months, save up a little bit longer, it's worth it, because in the 1 to 3 year range, when it comes to the amount of bikes and bike parts you have to buy, it's going to affect you big time. So if you fork over a little bit more cash up front, it's going to save you a lot in long term. And not only that, it's going to save you more money, the bike is going to look better, ride better, therefore you are going to be better faster. And one more thing before we look at these bikes, don't read the reviews, because I was reading the reviews of some of these bikes, and chances are they're by parents of 10-year-olds who don't know any difference, right? They don't know the difference between this bike and a $2,000 bike. So I do. So don't listen to those reviews. They don't really know what they're talking about, unfortunately, and I do. So without further ado, let's get into these bikes. What I did is I basically found the most popular, cheapest bikes on the most popular cheap bike websites. And the first one we have is the framed impact 20-inch bike, and it only comes in at $180, less than half the price of my cheapest option on my top 5 bikes list. But look at it, right off the bat, you can tell it is not a very good bike. I mean, the gearing is not even great. The sprocket is huge. The tires are tiny. It's a one-piece seat combo. So, I mean, it just simply doesn't even look right. So anyway, let's go into some of the reasons why these are so bad. First of all, this bike has no pegs, no hub guards, but yet it's still already 25 pounds. So it's going to be a heavier bike. And you're going to want chromoly frames no matter what. This is high-tin steel. This frame will not last you, and frames are extremely expensive. So that alone is the reason you should not get this. But same with the forks and same with the bars. Now, when I tell you, if there is something you do not want to cheap out on your bike, it is your frame. Second is your bars. Third is your forks. So the entire weak point of this bike is all 3 of those parts. So that's why this is such a horrible option. And that is why a lot of these are horrible options. So 36 tooth sprocket, that is absolutely massive. I run a 28. So a bigger sprocket is going to make it harder to pedal because there's more to move. And whenever you're learning, because chances are you're going to be a beginner if you're buying a bike this cheap, then every time you try to learn to drop in, your sprocket is just going to case the coping. You're not going to be able to learn to drop in, so you're not going to be able to learn basic tricks. There's no point in getting this bike. Now sure, you can go ahead and get another sprocket, but I just don't recommend it. It has single wall rims, so if you're starting to learn how to air out and you case the coping, well then you're just gonna break your wheel, and wheels are very expensive. It's $300 for a good wheel, so getting a $440 bike with 2 solid wheels and a chromoly frame is absolutely unbeatable. So This bike just isn't good for learning tricks. I love it, just now arrived, and I've already been using it for 3 hours. See, they have no real experience on a bike so far. Another extremely popular option is the Mafia bike. So I decided to take a look at it. So this is going to be about $350 in American dollars. Once again, it's got that giant sprocket. So this is the Kush Splatter Mafia bike. Forks, also high 10. External loose ball, so it's not even an integrated headset, which means it's going to suck for anything. You have a fixed one-piece seat and seat post combo, another giant sprocket that's going to suck for learning drop-ins, and then looks like loose ball, so it looks like you're not even going to have integrated rims, so it's going to roll rough. Single wall rims, so you can't air out without bending your rims. One-piece cranks, those are just absolutely awful. So essentially, yeah, don't get a Mafia. I've always made these bike roasts, and people have always commented about Mafias, and it's been years, and I've never even looked at one. I've seen a couple at the skate park, and they've looked cool, to be honest. I mean, let's be honest. These bikes are very unique. I really like the style of them, and then this is the first time I have ever done any research on the quality of these bikes, and I am extremely disappointed, especially because it's at the price point of $350. $100 more, you can get one of the best bikes I could recommend you. A very popular option is the Elite BMX Stealth, coming in at $270. Now this one has a lot of color options, but there's something about this bike that just doesn't look right. I mean, the seat, it's like one of those Walmart seats. I mean, come on, this bike is clear. I bet it's got those screw-on pegs. The pedals have reflectors in them. I mean, come on. High 10 frame, high 10 fork, one-piece cranks. Let's see, the wheel set just says included. That's all it says. Sprocket is, hey, it's 25 teeth. Handlebars, high 10. Weight, 26. And it's gonna have those screw-on pegs. So once again, this is a very popular option, and it's more expensive. This is no better than that $180 bike, and there's no reason to charge almost $100 more for it. Moving on to my very first BMX bike. This is what I had, but I didn't have it all jet fueled out. Mine was just black. So, I mean, right off the bat, come on. How are you gonna get a good gyro for $130? Look at that seat. Oh my God. It's got a chain guard. At least it's got a decent sized sprocket, one-piece cranks, and I've personally rode this bike, and I can tell you it is god awful. It is the worst BMX bike. I mean, is there even a specs page on this Walmart? I mean, I don't even know if they have any specs here. This toy is not suitable for ages under 3. They're referring to it as a choking hazard and a toy. Custom jet fuel paint. Micro drive front and rear sprockets, platform BMX pedals, rotor for 360 handlebar rotation. I mean, I think they mean a gyro, front caliper and rear U-brakes, 48. Oh, it's a 48 spoke? I didn't even realize that. Let's see. I mean, it's just not really giving us any real details, not even giving us the weight. So, I mean, this is just a very popular option, and trust me, this is not even close to a real BMX bike. I mean, come on. And lastly, one I have not ever heard of before, but you can just tell by looking. But clearly it's a popular option because they're having trouble keeping them in stock. So just a little bit more expensive, and I can't imagine it's any better. And if anything, it looks worse. I mean, look at that. What is going on there? This stem is a reflector. I don't even know what to say. It's got a guarded chain. I mean, a lot of bikes come with that, but I mean, come on. It says front pegs. Is there no back pegs? Just front pegs? Really? Yeah, just front pegs. Okay, guys, listen, don't buy any bikes off of Walmart. Those are the most popular bikes that I highly recommend you do not get. Now, I think this video has a lot of value in it because, you know, like I said, people might not be able to think they can afford the $440 kink that I recommended, but they want to buy these bikes. Trust me, it's worth saving up. Do what you got to do. Check out my other channel if you need to make some money. Even if you're 10 years old, sitting at home, absolutely anybody can do this. Save, fork over more up front to save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of problems, and a lot of money in the long run. Anyway, guys, be sure to check out my FastPass BMX class. Pick up your merch on a major discount considering I don't vlog and promote it anymore. Hit that like and subscribe button if you gained any value, and I will see you in the next video.